Tarisland is a game I had many hours in. I was raiding, streaming it every single day, but with the new season, there came high expectations and people expected a really good game. But fortunately, it was a disappointment, and right now the numbers are not looking good for Tarisland. I ended up quitting the game, and in China, it's also performing not good. So let's jump into the video and find out where did things go wrong with this game. If you are playing Tarisland or any other MMO, make sure you use ExitLag. It is absolutely amazing to make sure your raids go smooth. The PvP you're doing is very smooth. I use it for every game that I play. It is very easy to use. You can check out a free trial and see if it actually works for you with the link in the description below, or use my coupon code Spid. Let's jump into the video. So the game started off with some promises of delivering some really good raids, right? The raids were like the main thing with the game, and they actually did deliver with most of the raids. They were good, they were challenging, they were fun. There were world first races for these raids. They had the liquid.
Come on, let's fucking go. Come on. John. Let's go, please. Yes. Did we get it? Yes! Let's go! Oh my god! That was so hard. That was so hard.
And Echo competing in some of the raids, and there were world first kill races, and the raids felt really good, especially in season 0. When it comes to season 1, the raids weren't as hard except the challenge modes, but the raids felt fun, and the game also promised of being very casual friendly, which it was to an extent, because there wasn't much progression to do in this game. Everybody was kind of around the same level, so you didn't have to play much to be able to get there. So there was a lot of promises and expectations to the game of being no pay to win, but all that pay to win drama that started before the game was not good for the game. But they doubled down on the promise of being no pay to win. So that's what players were kind of expecting. So when the game first launched in season 0, we had the season 0 map right here. Season 0 was supposed to be an introduction season to the game, right? This is where you were supposed to just learn about the game. And honestly, I said this since beta days. I said it on day 1. Every single day I said this. The start of the season was horrible. It was very slow paced. There was no content except a few quests to do. The first week of the game was extremely boring, nothing to do, and that's how it went. So that was people's introduction to the game in the first place, right? Like getting into the game, paying streamers to play the game, to do what? To do nothing. There was nothing. They even gatekept the exploration, they gatekept the raids, they gatekept leveling. It was just extremely slow, and I didn't understand it. Why would you introduce players to the game and have them be bored of the game, right? Because your selling point is the cool raids, but instead you made them do boring quests. I talked about it, but so the start of the game, people got into it and they're like, this game is boring, there's nothing to do, I'm not gonna play this. So that was already very horrible, and so people were basically playing this game, looking at this horrible voice acting, playing with a few skills, and just getting bored of the game. They were doing some crazy marketing, you know, those fake ads where they were showing like Diablo type ads of the game, which wasn't even realistic. But overall, the launch of the game, I think they did pay a lot of streamers, but there was nothing fun for the streamers to actually do. And then you had the fake promise of no pay to win, right? Because we figured out very early in the game that you could actually buy crystals, right, which you could convert into gold, and with gold you could basically buy whatever you want, right? And we're gonna talk about these things, legendaries, in a second, but you could basically pay to win in the game, right? So it was this promise of being no pay to win, and there's so many like lies from the Tarisland team about having new genders per update. Now this game launched, and the game already had a massive update, and they launched saying, yo, we're gonna introduce new look at this, we're gonna introduce new genders every season. So we started off with male and female paladin and male and female mage, and then they promised to introduce more genders to get people to play, but that's just a lie, just to hook you guys into the game, right? Because they haven't introduced any new genders since then, and there's probably not going to be any other genders. So a lot of like fake promises, a lot of lies, just to hook people in with the no pay to win, with adding genders, with having PvP, more PvP content, like guild versus guild content, all this stuff. But that again, it never even happened, right? So a lot of fake promises from the Tarisland team to get you into the game, which they kind of didn't deliver on. So a lot of things were built on these lies, unfortunately. And let's be real, if developers are lying to you, I mean, the game isn't gonna end up well. It was just a lie to hook you guys in, right? And then you have the small issues inside the game. You had insane amount of class imbalances. For example, season 0, you had these certain classes that you needed to compete in anything, which can just do crazy amount of damage at a short time. In the season 0, it was the assassin. In season 1, it's the bard. The bard does like double every class's damage, which is absolutely insane. I've never seen this much class unbalanced in any game ever. So to do content, you need to use these classes, and these developers are seeing these classes do double the damage of everybody else, and they're like, we don't care. I mean, it's completely balanced. So I don't know if the developer himself, the main dude, was playing that class or what, but they never balanced classes, so he kind of had to play the class or not compete at all. So really weird. Time gating in this game, a lot of like crafting was time gated. Legendary weapons are unobtainable. They had these crazy things where the raids, there was a race to raids. They open at 4 a.m. So if you wanted to compete in the first kills, you have to wake up at 4 a.m. And then they were like, yeah, let's change it to 11 a.m. instead on the weekday. While at this beta, we agreed with the developers, everything, hey, maybe open the raids, because the raids have 2 modes, right? You have the epic difficulty, right, which is just the basic raids, and then you have the challenge mode of the raid, right, which open, let me see if there's a challenge mode going right here. I haven't logged on this game in a while, so I can't even find where it is. Here it is. So this is the challenge mode. So this is where it counted as the first race, right? So I was like, why not open the normal race so people can enter it at 12 or 11, and you open the race for the world's first server first at 5 p.m. so people can come back from work and everybody can compete. But like they said at the start, they said we're gonna make sure that we change the time to where people can play, but they didn't care. So you just started opening them at whatever time, 4 a.m. in the morning. They didn't even know. I told them, hey guys, you guys know you're opening the raids at 4 a.m. and they're like, oh, are we? Oh, we didn't know. So they went back and fixed it later. It's crazy. Same with the PvP arena in this game. Same issues. It opened at certain times of the day, you can see here, and there was no balancing done. They didn't care about the arena. It was just a whatever thing to them. So a lot of like other core issues with the game, with the time gating, all this stuff. And then let's talk about the legendary weapons. They introduced legendary weapons in season 1. And before we start about the legendary weapons, season 1 was supposed to be their big update, right? So we went from having these 4 maps to season 1 having 1 map. Yes, it is a slightly bit bigger, but in this map there was no world exploration. They completely removed. They were so lazy, guys. When they released these continents, right? They had explorations. There was quests. There was chests to find. There was like flamethrowers you had to use, parkour you had to do. They didn't have one lazy developer just go around putting chests around the map. So there was some type of exploration. Nothing. They did nothing this whole season 1, and they promised that the season 1 is going to be massive. It's going to be big. They introduced this small map with no exploration, nothing to do for a whole week again. So they decided to launch a new season, do a bunch of marketing, and tell the players, hey, there's nothing to do. I think I played 35 minutes every day to get my stuff done and logged off. In 40 minutes, not 45. Okay, that's not a full payout, guys. Done. Okay. Yo, that counts as sub 45, right? We did it. That's sub 45 at the start of the season when they were doing marketing. So again, stupid. They had a content creator stream where they talk about legendary weapons. Everybody will be getting them for free, but that was another lie, because actually you have to pay gold, and the only people that can pay this are people that spend money in the game, right? No player, I played since day 1, even I can't even afford the base legendary weapons. Then you have to upgrade it even more with these, and you can even like upgrade your weapon already to 170 if you actually pay to win, and the gear was only 160 at that time. So you could like even become even stronger. These legendary weapons are crazy. So another like time gating and stuff gating from You can never get a legendary in this game unless you pay, right? No matter what, it's so hard because all the crafting stuff is time gated. Whatever you make a day is time gated. It's just impossible unless you spend money. So that was that other thing. And then so the season 1 was completely fail, and the stuff to do daily in this game is boring. You do these reputations, which is just like a daily quest, which are super annoying to do. You have world boss that is kind of more like an AFK thing. You just go there. That's basically what it is. The game is what I call a raid simulator. You gear a character and you just do raids when you can. But the raids this season were so easy. The base difficulties of the raids you could basically do on AFK mode. It's impossible to die in the normal ones. The only ones that are worth doing were the challenge modes, which you actually didn't give any rewards and opened at 4 a.m. So I don't know what they were thinking with this new season, but this new season was a whole flop. In China, the numbers for this game were absolutely on the lowest. They know they're doing something wrong, but they didn't change anything. They didn't communicate. And then that's what I want to talk about, the Discord. The Discord of this game, the Discord community in this game was absolutely horrible. They had mods in this Discord basically banning everybody that tried to give some kind of suggestion to the game, that disagreed with the devs, that called out the game for like lying about a lot of stuff. They just banned everybody. So even at the start of the game, before the game even launched, the whole community was already banned on Discord. They actually cared and played the game. So the mods and admins, I mean, they didn't care about the community. They didn't care about the Discord community. Nothing. It was just incredibly toxic. And I mean, the game was doomed to fail, right? So and then what they started doing was doing server merges, right? Server merges are fine in most games, but here what they did is they started merging like Latam servers with NA, so they ended up having like 100 plus ping, which is why you should use ExitLag. And then they merge more servers, and then they try to merge EU and NA at one point, and got a bunch of backlash, and they were like, okay, we can go back on that. Then they merged EU and Eastern Europe servers. So I mean, the game has one server. I mean, one server in EU now, and one server in NA, if I'm not wrong, and one server in Asia. So it's a bunch of server merges, and what I really don't like about the game is it doesn't really give you the vibe of an MMO. And the reason for that is you see some players here, but there's so many lines. Like, why does this game have 3 lines? Like, the game can't manage more than 10 players. There's 10 players in this whole area, but this place has 3 lines, right? Why not just have one line? Like, why split players up? Like, look, I'm on line 3 now. There's 5 players here or 6 players here. And then you go line 1, there's 6. Like, can you not manage more than 20 players on one screen? Like, at least it feels like an MMO. Like, you're running around, you're seeing all these players. But this game doesn't even let you do that. It has like a bunch of lines everywhere you go. You can't see people, you can't play with people. It's just overall a very horrible experience. So I mean, I said this, I played this game out because what this game does, and what this will continue to do if it doesn't shut down, is the game introduced these raids, right? This is basically the content of the game. You gear up, you try to defeat this raid. That's what it's all about. The game doesn't have PP. It doesn't have any other things except this raid content, right? But they have 2 difficulties of this game, elite and epic difficulty. So what they do is they milk the game. So they introduce you to these raids in elite difficulty. You do them, and you do the challenge mode of them. And then after 1.5 months into the game, they introduce the epic difficulty. So it's the same raids with maybe one extra mechanic, a little more difficult, but the epic difficulty is actually more pay to win because they want you to buy these legendaries. They want you to max your gear so you can actually compete with these epic, do the challenge modes. So the epic difficulty is just like a milking strategy to end the season. Right now, they're on the last, I mean, I think they're on this boss right here on the challenge mode. Right, so this one is next, and then they're gonna take a 1-month break and then give you season 2, which was gonna be new raids. That's basically what they do. And from what I'm hearing, they're just gonna recycle old raids because I'm guessing the devs just quit. So it's gonna probably introduce the same bosses with the same different mechanics. Probably gonna have this boss in green color doing the mechanics of this boss, something like that. It's gonna be some stupid thing, but my guess is the game is probably gonna be shutting down very soon. They might try another season 2 with the exact same strategy. Even though the strategy is not working, they learned from season 0, it's not working. They're probably going to do the same thing because they can't really think from themselves, and at this point they're just milking, adding more and more pay to win. I think they added a crazy pay to win here too, right? Let me see here. Special offer, look at this. This game is not pay to win, by the way, but for $2, you can buy the Star Spirit to increase your gear level or attribute level of your gear. With this, for the $3 pack, you can actually buy an emblem upgrade to upgrade your stats and to get more emblems. With $4, you can get a special aptitude, which is a special bonus on your gear, stat bonus for $4. For $3, you can get colorful. But this is literally the definition of pay to win. You buy money, you use money to get stats. Oh, that's crazy. Also want to talk about this meme rewards that this game gives, okay? We got to talk about this. So if you rally comrades to come back to the game, they have a bunch of these things. People come back to the game, you get these chests, right? And look what you get in the chest. You get all the attack potions that you can't even use anymore because it's season 0 potions. This is what you get. This is what they're giving you. They're not even giving you like new potions. They're giving you old potions. If you guys get people back into the game, you will get stuff that you can't even use anymore. Bro, it's this whole thing. It's like developers don't know what they're doing, what they're showing. You get like old rewards in the game, rewards that you don't need for getting people into the game. This is huge for the developers themselves, right? If people actually come back to the game and play the game, this is massive. But the reward that they give you for this is you get an old attack potion. Sick, dude. Well, wow, what content, guys. And some HP potions. Let's see here. HP, you get 5 HP potions, okay? Intermediate HP potions. Let's see how much that will cost me. Intermediate HP potion, 5 of them will cost me 1,500 silver. How much silver do I have? 2 million. Oh my god, what an amazing reward, devs. Sick. Yeah, very good, developer. You guys are doing amazing. Yo. Content right here, content. And not only that, I kind of, this is more for me that I really want to talk about, is that this game decided to copyright strike all my YouTube streams of me playing the game. Yes, you heard me right. The guy, they got a guy called Russell Bauer that made World of Warcraft music to make music for the game. And on every single stream that I have the audio on, right? I have the audio on for this. They decided to copyright strike it. So if I'm streaming the game on YouTube, I'm getting copyright striked. So they can take the money that I make from the streams, which is insanity thing to do. And they don't even, like when you talk to them or try to communicate with them, they don't care. They're like, okay, whatever, we don't care. Like, that's horrible stuff. So, I mean, the game itself, for being a cross-play game, mobile and PC, it could have been the best cross-play MMO. Like, you look at this, you can fly, you know, like on the whole map. The map looks amazing. It's just extremely empty. They don't add stuff. Like, the game would do really good with like guild versus guild stuff. You have guilds of 200 player sizes. There's so much content that you could add in the game. They could add like fishing tournaments. They could add gathering tournaments. They could have made a lot of interactive stuff with the game. The game could have done really well, but they just didn't care, and they just started adding pay to win stuff. So I mean, they basically killed their own game. I really enjoyed the game for the raids, what it was like, doing all these world first races, playing with the guild, playing with the community, trying to do dungeons. Stuff was fun. It was just extremely lack of content and developers that did not care, right? So the game definitely had the potential to be the best crossplay with mobile MMORPG, but yeah, there's nothing in this game, and now the game is officially dead. If you look at the Steam charts, that's another funny thing. I mean, Steam charts doesn't really show what the game is, because people don't play kind of on Steam. They play on the mobile device, and they play on the client of the game. But the Steam client has like 50 active players. The Chinese numbers for this game of how much money they're making is all-time low. I won't be surprised if they shut down this game, but there's a chance there might be a season 2. I will be checking out season 2. We'll make some content on season 2, but I'm not going to play this game for a long period of time because they just do the same thing. Maybe they can save it in season 2. I don't think they will save it in season 2, but maybe they do something different. I don't think the game has the money to do anything good. This game got a lot of budget, and the reason why this game got so much money and the budget to do all this marketing, they did crazy amount of marketing. The reason for that is World of Warcraft was removed in China. So they were like, this is our time to take over. But then World of Warcraft came back, so they gave them a lot of money. Tencent gave them a lot of money to do all this marketing. But then just to take the World of Warcraft market cap. That's why they got so much money in investment, because the game didn't have much at the first place, right? And then when they got this money, World of Warcraft came back, and now from what I'm seeing, they've lost a lot of dev power in the game. They lose a lot of investment in the game because the game is performing horribly. World of Warcraft is back in China, so I don't think this game is gonna get any more love. They're just recycling the same amount. Like this is, look at this. It's pretty funny. Look at this. You see this mount? They're like, hey, you get this mount for playing the game, and then you get this color for another reward, and then you get this color for another. And I think there's so many. Like, look at it. You get this, you get this. Like, look at this. Just recycling the same mount over and over again, with different models. You have this again, this wolf. You have this, like, just putting different colors and calling it a day. Like, that is just wild, bro. That's wild. So this is basically probably the end of Tarisland. I had a bunch of fun playing it, but it's just sad, the reality of where the game has ended and where it's going. And I don't see it coming back. Let me know, are you guys still playing Tarisland? Will you guys be checking out season 2 when it comes? I don't know when it comes. Probably coming in March, because the last raids are ending now, and then it's gonna probably be 1.5 month break like they did last time, where they will introduce some BS leaderboards and stuff which you guys can play for and speed run for and recycle content, because they're gonna try to make some recycled raid for you guys in the next season. But we'll see. But that is it for this Tarisland video. You probably won't see any more Tarisland content from me until season 2. But thank you guys so much for watching and following the Tarisland journey. And let's see what the 2025 has to offer for Neo MMOs. Thank you guys. Take it easy. Check out this video right here. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.